Why don't shrimp have friends? Because they're shellfish. What up, YouTube? Scott here. Thanks again for visiting the channel. As always, I appreciate it. I'm doing something a little different today. As you can see, I am not tabletop. I'm not tabletop down. I am face to face with you guys for the first time, so I'm pretty nervous. Well, not for the first time. It's face to face with my lives, but otherwise, you know, my recordings, I've never done a face to face recording, so I'm going to do the best I can here. I'm a little nervous. I'm not sure why. It doesn't make any sense that the recordings would make me more nervous than the lives, but they do. I guess it's just kind of, tough to get everything straight in my head the way I want it. So I was going to post a couple of other videos from the Microtech Ramlock Stitch and the MSI, but I didn't want to post those until after I talked with you guys first. It's been a while since I posted anything, so I didn't want to just be that guy like, oh, hey, I know it's been a while, but here's a couple of videos. Thanks for watching. And so, you know, I wanted to give you guys an explanation as to where I've been and what I've been doing and why I've been doing it. And also I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, just to let you get to know me a little bit better, and hopefully in the comments you guys can, you know, let me get to know you guys a little bit better. And that's really the main reason that I'm doing all this. And I've been gone for a while, but I think I'm back. I hope so, anyway. I know I released a few videos after what happened, but I really wasn't ready to come back, and I didn't realize that until a couple of weeks after I had started posting again. So anyway, real quick, before I get started with that, I don't want the people that don't want to watch this whole thing to have to wait to see this, but I've got a couple of new additions to my collection, and I've also wanted to let you know I am currently 9 subscribers away from 700. So as soon as I get that 700 subscriber mark, I'm going to be giving away the KIZER ESCORT. This guy right here. Awesome, fantastic knife. I absolutely love it. I don't want to give it away, but I told you guys that I would, so I will. Also, you're going to be getting, whoever wins the 700 subscriber giveaway is also going to be getting a WIA iFixit driver from TRM Knives. And you're also going to be getting it's called a TRM Riverstone. It's not really a Riverstone, it's more of a worry stone, but it's made out of titanium. It's got the TRM label on it. Also, the person that wins will be getting this Lynch Northwest pry bar, which is an awesome, it's beautiful, it's absolutely gorgeous. Love the titanium, I love the milling and the anodization, and you've also got a flame anodized pocket clip on that guy. So this is going to be a pretty cool part of the giveaway, in my opinion. Those are very, very popular. And also, you will be getting a Let's Do It Up keychain. There you go. So, looking forward to the giveaway. I really, really am. Can't wait. 2 new arrivals to my collection. I'll be doing a review on this guy soon. I wanted to wait to do the unboxing on these knives, but I've been gone for almost a month and a half, and I'm not going to wait 2 months to open a package. I just don't have that kind of self-control in me. So, anyway, this is the most recent acquisition. This is the KIZER BRAT, full integral G10 handle on this guy. Absolutely love that. And a nice open handle here. You don't have anywhere where you have to put your fingers, so that's fantastic. And it's very comfortable in the hand. I'm not going to do a whole review right now, I'm sorry. But I love this knife. It's absolutely fantastic. I knew I was going to love it when I saw it, but the button lock is really, really cool on it. And it took me a while to be able to pick this up. The other one, HINDERER XM18, you guys, I'm sure you know, oh, Scott, that's your knife. You're an idiot. So I wanted to show you this because you guys know that I have a HINDERER XM18, but now I've got an XM24 in the collection. I knew they were going to be dropping, so I kept an eye on the site, and finally they told us they were going to be dropping it at 8 p.m. And it's kind of funny. That was the night that I broke my hand and had to go to the hospital. So I'm sitting there in a hospital stretcher, and I realized, oh my gosh, it's 5 after 8. I've missed the drop, and they're gone. So I went to the site just in case, and there were 2 variants left. I couldn't believe it. It was like 10 after when I got to the site. So anyway, They had two options available. They had the Coyote or the JG10. I really wanted the JG10, but before I could check out, it was gone. So I swapped back down to the Coyote, and I was able to purchase that one. So another one of my all-time grails checked off. So that's awesome. Glad to have it, and I really am excited about talking to you guys about it and my feelings between the XM24 and the XM18. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, as I told you, I wanted to talk to you guys about what was going on with me. Basically, I'm sure if you don't know the story, for the last 6 years I've been on doctor-prescribed narcotics. And within the last few months, they had to send me to a pain management doctor, and my PCP wasn't allowed to prescribe me meds anymore. And the pain management doctor did not start people initially on narcotics, so they told me I either had to go to inpatient rehab or go on to the Suboxone clinic. And I wasn't doing either one of those for reasons that are personal. It's not a big deal. But I just stayed at home and wrote it out and stopped the drugs, and I've been off of those for actually 2 months today. Anyway, after that happened, before I could get back onto the channel, I realized that I needed to I don't want to get all existential here or anything, but I had to kind of figure out who I was. And I'm going to get into that. It's going to be kind of a long story. I'll try to get through it as quick as I can. If you guys don't want to stay and watch, I totally understand. But I just want my subscribers to understand, and anybody else who watches this video to understand, why I haven't been posting for the past month and a half. I've wanted to, I just couldn't. So anyway, so I'm going to tell you this whole story, just kind of explain, why that's such a big deal for me. When I was in high school, I was in ROTC, and I used to catch a lot of shit about that because I went to a really kind of I don't really live in a dilapidated neighborhood. I didn't really live in a dilapidated neighborhood or anything like that, but I didn't go to the greatest high school in the world. And a lot of the kids would pick on the ROTC kids because they thought they were stupid when you're just trying to prepare yourself for the next step in life. Anyway, I really wanted to join the Army, and I wanted to go into the Army and be, just this high-speed, badass soldier sort of deal. That was kind of stupid, but I was young. I was going to live forever. That's what I did. So anyway, when I graduated, I joined the military. And when I went to basic training, they were like, who wants to go to jump school? And I said, I do. I'm all excited about it. And they sent me, and it was fantastic. It was fun. It was a good time. But I ended up with some injuries after that. But that's not a big deal. But I basically, after jump school, I went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division for a couple of years. I was in the 1st and the 319th Field Artillery Regiment, which is it's kind of a tough place. But you make friends, you get to know everybody, and it's it can be a really good experience, which it was for me. It was tough, but it was a good experience. After I got out of the military, I had some mental health issues, stuff going on, so I was drinking a lot. I couldn't find a job. I didn't know what to do, so I ended up working at a tire shop, making like $7 an hour or something like that, and it sucked, but it was a job. But it allowed me to be home with my family every evening, and I was drinking a lot. My wife was drinking some too during that time, so it really wasn't a big deal. But as time went on, I needed to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and I decided maybe to go back to school. But like I said, I went to a bad high school and never thought I would be able to graduate from college, so I went to a kind of a trade school where I live. And I ended up doing a little bit of partying there, a lot of drinking and everything with my friends. And all this stuff leading up in my life, I realized, I was an alcoholic, but it wasn't really causing too much strain on my family or anything like that, so it wasn't a huge deal. After I went to that trade school, one of the nurses there that were instructors, they said, you really should go to nursing school. You think you do really well. So I did that. I went back to college, went to college, and went to a year-long LPN program because I thought that was the best way to go because, again, I didn't think I would be able to graduate from college or anything like that. And then after that, that was, Jesus, when I did the LPM program, I was working 40 hours a week, and I was also going to school on the weekends, so I never had any time to myself. So if I did, once I did get home, again, I would just drink and drink and drink and then go to sleep. Then after I think 5 or 6 years, I went back to get my registered nursing degree. I actually went to college, got a 2-year degree, and I did really, really well. So, I was able to grow as a person, but I was still just constantly, if I wasn't at school or work, I was drunk. Um, Once I was an RN, I had a bunch of different jobs. I worked as a unit nurse, I worked a desk job, and then after that, I wanted to go and do something else, so I went and worked at a nursing home for a little while. And then after that, I went to another hospital. I worked on the infusion team there, putting in IVs and central lines and stuff like that. And then I went to work in the operating room after 3 or 4 years of that. So I had a lot of experience in my job, and I was really good at everything that I did. I've always been very good at picking things up quickly and being a self-starter, and I never had any real trouble with that sort of thing. But that's the biggest thing with me, is I was surprised that my drinking never affected my work. I was able to just kind of maintain that for years and years and years. Then after a while of that, it got so bad that I was spending all of our money on alcohol. I actually spent, I think, all the money that we had one week, and we hadn't paid the rent or the electric or anything like that. We had no money left. I'd spent it all on alcohol. So my wife kind of gave me an ultimatum. She's like, it's us or alcohol. She's like, if you want to keep drinking, she's like, you have to leave and go away and don't come back. So I decided to quit. And I think I had quit for like maybe close to a year when the pain in my back started getting really, really bad, and the pain in my hips. So my doctor put me on oxycodone, which is a pain medication. If you don't already know that, I'm sure that everybody knows what that is. But as time went on, I was on this medication for like 6 years. And my tolerance would build up, and then she would give me a higher dose and then increase the frequency, and then my tolerance would build up again, to the point where 2 years ago I ended up taking, ended up maxed out, which is like 30 milligrams of oxycodone every 4 hours, round the clock, all day, every day. Which that's not where I wanted to be in my life, but I thought that's kind of where I had to be. And I was on that for, that dosage for 2 straight years. And then all of this happened. And I had to, go off I didn't have to go off the drugs, but I could have gone to any of my friends that I used to grow up with, and they would have sold me whatever. But I'm like, no, I need to stop this. So I did stop, and thank God, my pain actually got better, because there was an issue with something called opioid-induced analgesia or something like that. It basically makes you more susceptible or more sensitive to pain. So I was in more pain while I was on the oxycodone than I am right now, which is good. It's lucky for me. I'm able to take care of it with Tylenol and ibuprofen. Hold on. Guys! Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. My family just got home, so the dogs went crazy. I didn't think they'd be home yet. But anyway, where was I? So yeah, I'm better now that I'm off the drugs than I ever was, and I'm eternally grateful for that. But having been either drunk or high for the past 20 years, I didn't really know who I was, or what kind of a channel I wanted to have, or anything like that. I kind of just didn't know, what to say or what to do, or how to act. So obviously I just have to be myself. I just didn't know what that was. So hopefully I'm there. So anyway, that's the story. That's where I've been. I just figuring out who I was and what I wanted, and how I wanted to get it. So I apologize for being gone for that long, but that's just kind of what ended up having to happen. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you a few things about me, just to get to know you a little better. Let's see. when I was a kid, I broke my right arm 3 times in like a year. So now I eat with my left hand. I can't, it's not that I can only eat with my left hand, but it feels really uncomfortable to eat with my right hand. So that's kind of just something strange. I have a really short tongue. I don't know if you want to know that. I have a lazy eye, but it only happens really when I'm tired and I eat something. My left eye will just instinctively close, and people always are weirded out by that. So I don't really like to eat in front of people. I have a little small case of OCD. It's not life altering or anything like that, but it's pretty bad for me sometimes. It just makes me really frustrated when things aren't just so. Um, I am extremely stubborn. I'm one of those people. The fastest way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't, which is probably the only reason I was able to get off of the drugs. So that's a good trait to have. I'm more of a dog person than a cat person, but as you guys know, my wife, I think, my wife has 4 cats, which I'm sure you've met at least 2 of them on more than one occasion during my lives. I always said that I'd never talk about God or politics on this channel, but I kind of feel like there's just some things that need to be said. As far as politics is concerned, I'm more of a middle-of-the-road kind of guy, but I'm definitely right-leaning. I think the government is probably one of the most toxic things in this country right now, and I'm, disgusted by most of what happens, but I try not to get too into that if I can help it. It's kind of a rabbit hole that most people don't like to go down. As far as God is concerned, religion, whatever you want to call it, if you had to put a label on it, I guess I'd say that I'm agnostic. I don't know. I have a hard time reconciling certain things with having a God, but I've also seen things that I can't explain any other way. So kind of hard to say. I told my wife recently, I'm like, I don't know if I believe in God, but I try to act as though I do. I guess that would be the best explanation for it as far as I can tell. Music, my favorite band, or who I think the best band in the world is Hamlet. No. Okay, go ahead. Anyway, it's kind of hard to say. I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to music. I love all kinds of music, but if I had to say what my favorite band was, I would definitely say it was Tool. But I've also been listening to a lot of Tom MacDonald. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a Canadian, now living in America, hip-hop artist who does a lot of, I guess, politically based rap and everything like that. So I think he's absolutely fantastic. He offends a lot of people, but I don't think there's a lot of people that would watch my channel that would be offended by anything he says. But he says a lot of stuff that makes sense, and he tries to get conversations started. So if you guys ever want to take a look at him, I would definitely recommend that. I also, somebody that I like to watch on YouTube, a lot on YouTube, is Jordan Peterson. He is he's a Canadian psychotherapist who's been through quite a bit of stuff in the limelight lately. If you want to look into him, you can. What else do I? I wanted to recommend a couple of YouTube channels to you guys because they're awesome dudes and they make a lot of great content. So I think you guys should look into it if you are interested in like 2A sort of things. That means Second Amendment, First Amendment, things like that, and just kind of things that Americans really need to pay attention to these days. So the first one, if you want to go to check them out, it's Freedom to Think, FEREEDOM space TO space think, THINK. The guy who runs the channel, his name's Jeff. He's an awesome dude. They have a lot of great content. I would definitely go check them out if you guys are interested. And the other one is one of the people that he has on his channel quite often. His name's Armando. He is a Cuban immigrant, 4-tour Navy veteran, I believe, and just an all-around great guy. But he has a channel called Pew Pew Nation TV, PEWNATI ONTV. That's all one word. And again, his name is Armando, and he's got a fantastic channel with a lot of great content on it, 2A, stuff like that. But again, I'd really like you guys to check those out if you wouldn't mind. I think that's all I have to say for today. I hope it makes sense, and I hope at least you guys were interested by some of it. But that's about it for tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Stay up, y'all. Take it easy. Bye.